Hi, everybody. This is Lee. And I want to say thank you for stopping by McQueen Press, watching the videos. This is a particular shout out to all my commenters, the ones that love a good debate. They bring the facts, they bring the figures, they bring a point of view. And I try to do the same thing. Usually on public affairs, that's the topic of the day that I usually speak on, whether it's our electoral politics, whether it's our economy or infrastructure, criminal justice, fossil fuels, energy policy, all kinds of things like that. It's fun. I learn a lot, and I hope people learn some things too from me, from each other. Each one teach one. That's the way I like to see things happen. And so in the comment section lately, a topic has come up that I actually been meaning to talk about, the death penalty in Texas. I had been holding on to an article from the Associated Press since December 16th. That's how long I've been holding the article, meaning to talk about it, but getting sidetracked by so many other things. The Electoral College vote, the cabinet picks, all kinds of things that have been happening, energy, all sorts of stuff. But I think now is the time. I'm going to talk about the death penalty in Texas, and I still have this article because it really caught my eye. It was so unusual. There's a twist at the end, an M. Night Shyamalan twist. I don't think I said his name right, but I tried. So there's interesting reason given in this article for the decline in death penalty executions this year in Texas. This is Texas, longer leader in executions trails this year. The article is by Michael Graczyk of the Associated Press. And so the author says that 7 convicted killers were given the lethal injection in Texas this year. And this is the lowest number of death penalty executions in Texas since 1996. And for the first time since 2002, Texas did not lead or tie for the state with the most executions. Georgia has that distinction for 2016 with 9 to Texas 7. And so there's only 5 states, Georgia, Texas, Missouri, Alabama, that accounted for the 20 executions nationwide. And so you figure Georgia had 9 of that 20. Texas had 7 of that 20. The rest are divided up by the rest of the states. Oh boy. None of these 7 Texas inmates that were given the lethal injection this year were African American, although all 3 prisoners who arrived to death row this year are black. And so they have not been executed, the 3 that arrived to death row. They just arrived, and they are awaiting their dates. The overall numbers reflect a downward trend in capital punishment, both in Texas and then across the country as well. And so a significant impact on Texas, this author says, has been a change in the law that gives juries in capital cases since September 2005 the option of deciding between a life sentence without the possibility of parole and a death sentence. So given a choice between life without the possibility of parole and then capital punishment, execution, the death penalty, most juries have been trending towards deciding upon life without the possibility of parole. In some other states, a shortage of lethal injection drugs is what reduced the executions. And so besides the 7 executions carried out in Texas, 12 other inmates this year were scheduled to die in 2016 in Texas, but they at least temporarily avoided the death penalty. 7 lethal injections were halted by the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals, and then 1 was halted by a federal court in order to more fully examine the appeals in those cases. And then the other inmates either had their dates withdrawn by their trial courts or were rescheduled for 2017. And so that's what's been happening this year in Texas in terms of death penalty cases. It's been a trend going down this year in Texas. Whether that trend continues in 2017 remains to be seen. There are 3 death penalty cases on the books that are scheduled in Texas in January. And so we'll soon find out what the trend is going to be. But at least for this year, Texas has not led the nation in executing prisoners. I am anti death penalty, and so therefore, I do hope the trend continues down until it no longer exists. Life without the possibility of parole, I believe, is a more humane form of punishment. And it seems like juries are agreeing, at least lately. We don't know. It's too early to really see. But I'm hoping that this might indeed be a trend. Thank you again for stopping by McQueen Press, and I look forward to your comments as always. And best wishes for a new year. Good luck.